Hey guys, we're Jed and Jen, and in this quick video, we're going to show you a fun way to teach kids brain science. Science, right?
Yes.
And then also how to help kids take a break. Because if you're a first grader, the ideal is that you would raise your hand and be like, hey, I need to take a break now. Or I'm feeling nervous and anxious and I think I need to go take some time and calm down. Now, when is the last time one of our kiddos did that? Yeah, never, right? Just not gonna happen. So sports teams need breaks, and they have the hand signal, the simple timeout. And this might be the cooler one for some of the older kids because you see it in football, sporting games. So simple way to say, hey, I need a break right now without actually saying I need a break. But the brain science one. You want to dive into that?
Yeah, so we talk a lot in school about, this is my little hand person, right? His name is Larry, right? And Larry is walking through the woods, and then he sees a bear, and Larry gets scared, and his hair is standing up on end, right? And we talk a little bit about the brain science that Larry is walking right now. This is his prefrontal cortex, where he does all of his cognitive, kind of higher level problem-solving thinking. This is his kind of rational thinking brain, right? And in here, this is his amygdala. This is his we call it the downstairs brain, or more primitive brain. This is your emotional response brain, right? It's fight, flight, freeze. And so as Larry is walking around and he's thinking about the trees and he's all happy and good, he might be thinking about problems, right? He's kind of using that prefrontal cortex. When he sees the bear, hair stands on end. Larry's prefrontal cortex is nowhere to be found, right? Now we're here. We are down in downstairs brain. We're in fight, flight, freeze. And so we talk with students too about sometimes, this is a really good thing because that keeps us safe. We're not sitting and thinking about, ooh, I wonder what that bear wants to eat for dinner today, right? We're thinking, well, we're really not thinking anything. Our body response is so fast, and it recognizes that there's danger. We go into fight, flight, or freeze, and our body physically starts to prepare for this encounter with the bear, right? And that's a good thing. However, our brain can misinterpret danger, right? And so sometimes we have kids in our classroom who are interpreting social signals and things like that as danger, right? And so danger doesn't have to be a physical danger. It can be, I'm not emotionally safe right now, right? It could be that in this social situation, I feel at risk, right? So there's a lot of different things. And it can, for some of our trauma kiddos, there can be sounds, smells, things that are said, things that we're not aware of that can trigger a trauma response for them. And they do feel physical danger, even though there's nothing physically dangerous in the room. So for whatever reason, we may have a child who is like little Larry in the woods and has popped their top. And that's what we call it, is popping their top. And now they need a break because they are feeling dysregulated. So we might teach our kids, what does your body feel like? Well, my heart is beating fast. I'm breathing fast. My muscles are clenching up. This is how I know that I need to take a break because I'm no longer able to think through. This teachers is a time when you know that your child is not learning right now because they're hypervigilant, they're looking around the room, they're wiggly, they're silly. Sometimes fear comes across as really silly. It can be anxious behavior. It can look a lot of different ways. But this is when they need a break. So sometimes we'll just do this. This is Larry with his hair up, standing on end. This tells me without having to say I need a break because let's be honest, prefrontal cortex isn't working, right? So even for some of our youngest or for some of our high trauma kiddos, formulating the words I need a break isn't going to happen. But signaling can happen. Or for some of our older kids, if you're getting that buy-in through some of the sports, they can do I need the timeout. We've used even Post-it notes that I have a Post-it note or a card and I just set it out on my desk and I leave, and that signals to the teacher that they're doing their job. They just aren't able to tell me right now where they're going. They're going to go out in the hallway and take a break, or out to someone else's room and take a break, whatever they need to do. So they're just signaling we know what they're doing. They've been pre-taught where to go. I need a break. All
right, so here's the added bonus, and it's weird, but your kids will love it. So what you do is you get your hand and you do indeed draw your face. Don't use a permanent marker. Little nose. Something as simple as that.
You also have to draw the lines on your fingers because his hair needs to stand up straight on it. Right?
Yes. So you will go through and you'll draw the hair standing straight up. For kids, just the fact that you're drawing a face on your hand will absolutely get their attention, and they'll remember this simple signal. And so I've had kids use this where maybe they can't say, okay, I'm kind of freaking out right now, I need to calm down, but you can do this. And so it becomes a good hand signal of, hey, I just need a minute to take a break or a minute to collect my thoughts.
And I also point out that this would be considered like sticky learning. Like you want learning that is going to resonate with a kid. And so even though it seems kind of silly, it's that piece that kids think it's funny when we do things that are unexpected. So something as silly as drawing on our head gets that sticky learning. They'll remember that. And so they're more likely, where if I just sit and I have the conversation with them and I don't teach the playful kind of part of it, they're less likely to remember it when they need it.
So key things to remember: frontal cortex is up here. Amygdala is that teeny tiny almond shaped part in the center of your brain. That emergency response system that's responsible for that fight, flight, or freeze. Guys, give this a try. I think you will like it. Draw on your hands and your kids will love it and remember it and use it. All right, we'll see you in the next video.